The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I'm Rylin Dare, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and I'll be playing Jacqueline Duron of Clan Ventru.
And I'm Mischievous Red, and I'll be playing Isabella Caputo of Clan Toreador.
Good evening, I am the Ivy Raven, and I play Genevieve Schutz of Clan Gangrel.
I'm Urian, and I'm playing Roscoe Akers, Clan Tremere.
My name's Brad, Timber Brad 411 in chat, and I'll be playing Nicholas Bowens of Clan Hikata.
I'm Gavin, and I play Lamar Cade of Clan La Sombra.
And when we were last with this group of kindred, well, it was an interesting night. Jackie got a bit of some good info pointing towards the whole Felicity Miller thing. But then the rest of the coterie goes out, tears a hole in the shroud, and proceeds to start a maelstrom. Just little minor things, I guess. Jackie's probably happy she noped out on that one. But where we're going to pick up is actually the same night this occurred, because the coterie is returning from, as it's been dubbed, the cabin in the woods. As you're riding from the cabin in the woods, Roscoe, that chain you had taken from that location, it slowly fades away until it's gone, unable to sustain itself in this particular world you're in. And I'm going to turn it over to the players as they're riding in this car. Somebody's going to need to tell Jackie where to meet up so that you can explain what you did tonight.
I imagine Nicholas is probably just trying to, like, he's kind of trying to comfort Izzy, given that she was very, very traumatized after everything. So he's probably just whispering to himself, like talking to her.
So I nominate that Nicholas tells Jackie what happened, because he
That's a
probably has
good
the best
plan.
grasp of whatever that was.
Because Yeah, what the hell happened?
We were doing well up until the whole thing shattered.
There was a lot of questionable things until then, just to be clear, including warnings that happened.
Warning, like, what do you want to elaborate for us? 'Cause I feel like you're trying to say something without saying it.
I told you so. I'll say it.
Oh, you're gonna beat that drum, are we? All right.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going?
Well, we head back to my shop. Seems to be a pretty decent
Okay.
place to.
Thank you. Also, you two don't fucking fight in the car. Genevieve's actually going to pull out her sat phone. She's going to text Jackie and just say, we're heading to Roscoe's bookstore with information. If you could swing through, that would probably be beneficial.
I got a solid 20. There might be a demon there when we get there.
Now, come on now, Lamar. Well, I mean, there might be outside, but I'm not going to let him in.
And
This
Jackie,
time.
you get that text as
I'm sitting there watching the chess game.
about game has not been going well for Martin.
And she takes out her phone. And she responds back, give me 30 minutes. And she says, well, gentlemen, it was a pleasure, but I do need to leave. It seems I have another meeting to attend. Don't worry, Martin. If you come back when he's teaching me, you can laugh your ass off at me.
And Cedric looks over. Martin, you could leave too, because you're not doing well this time. And Martin goes, yeah, but the game's not over till it's over. And they both kind of wave at you as you
Good
depart
night,
the place.
gentlemen.
Let's see let's have these people, some people roll first. Who has sensed the unseen out of the people arriving at Roscoe's club? I know Roscoe does. Does anyone else have sensed the unseen? Or is it only Roscoe? Let's go through. I'm checking too, just because I can pull these up. I have everybody's. Yep, no, Roscoe has it. And I think Roscoe has it, and maybe Roscoe has it.
Yeah, if it applies when Jackie gets there, she has it.
You'll
but-
get to roll when you get
yeah.
there, but you're not there yet. If you want to roll anyway, go ahead. So yeah,
I'll
since
wait.
the unseen, gonna need you to roll that Roscoe as you get to your place. It's gonna be resolve all specs for you. Or actually, no, you're not checking it. You can roll wits all specs. I could roll it too, but I'll let you roll it.
It's the same. So, okay.
I have 3. Something odd, Roscoe. Something very odd. Only 3. I'll let you roll one other roll. You're going to do intelligence occult.
Do I get a specialty on that?
We're going to see what you have. You have specialty in blood magic and grimoires, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, no specialty for that one.
Okay.
Dice flying everywhere. Right now, Roscoe has 3. Let's see if Roscoe wants to willpower that. By the way, everyone should have already reset your willpower
Oh, in that case, yes.
from last session. Even though it's the same night, the rules do say you get to reset either your composure or your resolve, whichever is higher, each session. So go ahead, Roscoe. Let's see what you can get. Very nice, actually. You got 2 more successes. So Roscoe, you got 5. There's something odd. You can feel it. You can't quite. You don't know what it is, but something at the moment as you pull up to your shop reminds you of back when you were a mage. When you were learning about how to manipulate the spheres of the cosmos.
Okay. Do I notice any overt things or just a feeling?
No, it's like the hairs on the back of your neck. Just has this feeling. It reminds you of that kind of a feel.
Okay.
But other than that, everything looks normal outside your shop.
Nobody hanging out on the opposite corners watching.
No, not that you see.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll open the door and let everybody go in.
As you come into this bookshop, once again, bookshop. Most exciting bookshop in Chicago,
Well,
as we've established. Now, you all were a bit out, so actually Jackie's not going to be that long to get in here because you had
We
a
are on
haul to
sticks.
get back. Yeah. So it's only a few minutes before Jackie and Etienne pull up out front. And Jackie,
I rolled and got 3.
yeah, you don't have the same background as him, so you don't notice anything.
She primarily wants to use it to just see Nos anyway. Okay, so Etienne stays at the car and she walks in.
He watches to make sure, keep an eye on things.
Actually, before I go in, I want to do a wits awareness.
Okay, go ahead. I will let you roll that. I saw yours, Jenny. I saw Jackie roll her wits aspects early.
Yeah.
That's right. Never
And
mind.
then I'm going to do wits awareness with instincts
Okay, go ahead.
because I know there's some sus shit going on with Roscoe. Got a 4.
4. There is somebody watching the place. You don't, your instincts, you can feel you're being watched, but you don't know from where and can't make out anything about it. But you feel you're being watched. You've learned to trust that.
She actually, as she's getting ready to put her hand on the door, she peers around. She walks back to the car.
Okay.
She opens the door and sits down in this passenger seat. Keep your eyes peeled, Etienne. Someone's watching.
Yes, ma'am. Now,
I don't know where and I don't know who, but someone's watching.
roll for him now.
And she gets out.
Okay. I will roll for him just so I can see what he gets. As I can find where I put him in here. There he is. Here, we'll have him just so I have a roll. You know, I like to see that. Okay, I got what his roll is, and you head back in.
Mm-hmm. And now I actually enter.
So you all saw Jackie come out, get towards the door, put her hand on the knob, turn around, go back to her car, and then come back in the building.
Mhm. And as she enters, she actually waits a moment for the door to close behind her. Somebody's watching your shop, Roscoe.
You know, I felt something odd when I came in. I couldn't place it. So
I don't know who and I don't know where, but my instincts are usually right. Somebody's watching. I have Etienne looking out.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. So, what is going on?
Well, Lamar and I think Nicholas should tell you.
I was gonna say maybe we should do the good news, bad news.
Oh, okay.
Soften the blow, perhaps.
Or at least delay it anyway.
Yeah, yes.
Can I at least have a seat while I'm waiting for you guys to
please.
decide what you're going to tell me?
That's the best part. Do that. Definitely do that.
No. I have great news, as it were. Perhaps I'm not really sure what to make of some of it. So I made the acquaintance of a little red fox out near the shack.
Oh, how adorable.
Yes, he or she, it was working for our friend Michael.
His name is Joseph Kerr.
Well, Joseph and another visited the shack at some point. The other person is, based on the description, is not someone I know, but so everyone here can add their 2 cents. It was a Black woman with shortish hair, and since she was with Joseph, I'm going to assume she's probably of the Anarch persuasion, unless he's liaisoning with a lot of Camarilla.
You give the description of the image you saw that the
Yes.
That sounds like Mal Davis. Roscoe, you met her as well.
Mm-hmm.
That night that we went out with Destiny.
Yes, I did. I hadn't connected them.
Yes, that sounds like Ma
Okay.
Davis.
Interesting.
Interesting. How long were they there?
Another anarch?
No, how long were they there?
Oh, sorry. They were there probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops.
She looks at Roscoe. I bet they couldn't find the way in.
Well, it's not difficult to get in. Maybe they just were put off too much by crossing the threshold.
I can tell you that I could not see that door. It was Jenny that saw it.
Hmm.
So perhaps they didn't even find it.
Hmm. It's possible.
The little fox though did say that Joseph was not visiting often or at all and was not feeding him. So it was just out there kind of watching and was going to report back to Joseph tonight.
Excellent.
So I did ask if there was any other watchers, and it said it believed Joseph had some owls, I believe it was, watching the shed, but it wasn't 100% certain.
So we know he uses crows or ravens. We know he uses foxes. We know he uses owls. This is all very informative.
Well, I'm glad I could provide some good news to be a ray of sunshine for the shit show that is apparently to come, based on everyone's behavior while I was playing petting zoo. Sorry.
Okay, so tell me the rest. Somebody volunteer, because really, I have somewhere else to be tonight too, so let's get to it.
So the problem with the place going in is handled.
Excellent.
There may be a new problem. I don't imagine it lasting long.
Okay.
Elaborate on this new problem, Nicholas.
Are you familiar with what happens after someone dies?
Some of them turn into ghosts and some don't. It's about all I know.
There, I explained to Mr. Akers. There's a layer between where the ghosts live and our world.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Surrounding that building, that layer was exceptionally thin. And I say was because now it is currently open.
You
When
ripped
we
a
went-
hole between the realm of the living and the realm of the dead.
Temporarily, yes.
Okay. What's the fallout?
It will repair itself.
Excellent. What's the fallout?
Immediately, ghosts might be a little angry. Immediately past that, I don't know.
Okay.
But whatever was going on in that place isn't happening anymore.
Excellent. Because whatever was going on in there had hurt Etienne.
It was... This may not mean much to people not of the family, but it was torturing the souls of the departed.
Then it is good you stopped it.
I couldn't leave without fixing the situation, and unfortunately, in order to fix it, we may have caused a temporary problem. But my experience is these tears in that layer, it's referred to as the shroud.
Okay.
They don't tend to necessarily last long, but while it is open, there may be some pushback, which I will handle as needed.
Would it be a good idea to keep our ears kind of peeled for weird news?
Absolutely. Because when the shroud tears, it sort of sends a ripple on both sides. And the wraiths that will make it through and the wraiths that are already here will not be happy.
Hopefully it was far enough out that we won't have any complications out here. But let us all pay attention to news reports over the next few nights for any weird occurrences. And should we report those to you, Nicholas?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. I have no input on what you are capable of doing and what you've done. None. I can't say that I would have thought of something better to do, because I don't have any expertise in these things. But I would say that ultimately what's done, while potentially bad, was done for the right reasons. And ultimately we got the result we wanted. We got whatever was suppressing our beasts and making it so Etienne was aging. Stopped.
I don't know what was causing it other than whatever that building was created to do required the altar, which we destroyed, which set everything in motion. So
Okay.
we shall see.
So now we just deal with any potential fallout.
Indeed.
Luckily, it's in the middle of nowhere, so nobody knows it was any of us. Except for potentially a Joseph Kerr, who's an anarch and nobody's going to listen to.
And he doesn't take very good care of his pets. So, because seriously, I rolled up with a cheap pack of ground beef, and that fox was singing the tune. So
Wow. Very
figure if,
informative.
yeah, well, I figure if I'm ever going to visit Joseph, I'll probably bring some ground beef with me, and leave with his friends.
Okay.
And for the record, whatever the fallout is, this is on me. I'll take those responsibilities should I need to.
Nicholas, you are not alone. We work together.
What she said.
I'm not sure what you are used to, but we work together.
Even if I disagree with what you did, I'm not going to leave you behind or leave you to suffer for any of that.
Forgive me, I'm used to a more dysfunctional family.
I think a lot of us are, but you're part of the team, and we need to put a we need to send another ghost to hell, we got you.
I mean, I did
Oh.
send a demon to hell.
Yes, you did.
My understanding is hell would be preferable to where they went.
I understand. At least, I can imagine. But thank you for informing me of the situation, truly. Jenny and Isabella and I were discussing matters with Flyboy, the situation with the Second Inquisition at the airport. Because Jenny and I were both able to find some good information on Felicity, the woman that Flyboy is reporting to. One, I was able to get confirmation that he is reporting to her, not the other way around. So that makes Flyboy basically, yeah, he can be destroyed. Felicity, however, her father was a psychiatrist at Lakeview Hospital 20 years ago. Jason Newberry held sway there, interests. And liked to play games with the patients and the doctors and nurses there. Based on the information I gathered this evening, I believe that Jason Newberry was messing with Felicity's father. Felicity's family died in a house fire. She was the only survivor. And she kept saying she didn't see anything or know anything. But I think she did, because she now works for the Second Inquisition. It takes some trauma to motivate you to be that. So I'm bringing you all in on this little side work that we ladies have been doing, because I have a thought that I would like all of your input. I know the alias Jason was using at the time. I want to have a conversation with Felicity and bring up that name. To see her reaction. Because while she may not say anything or claim she knows nothing, her face will tell me everything.
Do you know what Sun's abilities were at the time? I mean, could he have erased her memories?
I have no idea. He was relatively new to the city at that time, so I have no idea. He wasn't Primogen yet. His sire was actually Primogen. But his sire went missing sometime after that, and shortly after his sire went missing, someone checked Jason's aura.
Oh.
And found
What?
black marks.
Okay. So who came out of that?
Mm.
Was it Jason or his sire?
Who knows? Who cares? He is gone.
True. Doesn't matter now.
Yep. So, yes. So, do you all believe that that may be a good idea?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you want to snatch her and
Don't want to snatch
interrogate
her.
her?
I don't want to traumatize her further with that kind of aggressive approach. Jenny had a good idea of basically baiting her a bit. She has a gambling addiction. She's in over her head. She owes more than she can ever pay. The Second Inquisition is protecting her from default. but they aren't paying her enough to actually pay off her debts.
What do you propose?
Ginny, this is yours.
So I propose that we basically put her on the payroll for us. So we give her some sort of resolution to her past issues, while also allowing her a little bit more freedom. And by that, I mean monetary freedom. I have the resources. I can take care of it if I need to, but it was more of a, we could do it as a group effort. All I know is that part doesn't matter. It's basically, instead of barely floating above the water, we can keep her still in debt so she can't just get paid off instantly, but we can also incentivize her, give her experiences and trips and things, like, hey, here's a casino weekend in Milwaukee or something. These different things that she can kind of enjoy her life some, so she's not just doing the job and nothing else. It also can help kind of show that, hey, guess what? We're not all monsters. Even if we are, if she's kind of on the up and up with us, as it were, we don't have to worry about her being so aggressive in going after us, the royal us, as it were. So it would be a fairly simple thing. And honestly, setting up some sort of talking or first contact, we could rent out a diner somewhere or something, stock it with some people that were paying some, pocket money, like $20 here, come and show up and just sit at a table somewhere. We can all be there. She won't know us, and we can pass on information to her and then have that be that initial. So it's not, as Lamar was suggesting, snatching her. And as Jackie said, we don't want to traumatize her further. We want her to see that we are reasonable, that we can work with her, that we can be accommodating, that we are not all these crazed animals running through the streets doing whatever the fuck we want.
And fucking with people's heads to turn them into monsters.
Exactly. If it wasn't this Jason Newberry who killed her family, if it was somebody else, we can always possibly supply her with that individual and let her have her revenge if that's what she pleases. I mean, there are tons of things that we can do to kind of bring her into the fold and make her amicable to our cause, as it were. So
I like that. Of course, we've got to be really careful, though, because I'm sure the Second Inquisition is keeping close tabs on her to make sure, she stays right at their optimal level of debt.
Yes. That's why I was suggesting we do things that don't necessarily she could have entered into a contest and she won a all expenses paid weekend at this hotel or something. We can do these kinds of things that are harder to trace back, as it were. So plus they're never going to know necessarily, because there isn't any money or anything coming into her. They're not going to know that she, I don't know. Considering how ineffective she has been thus far, I don't know that they are keeping their thumb on her too hard, other than keeping her more monetarily subservient to them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like the plan.
My only concern trauma and time has radicalized many.
Indeed.
Is there a contingency for you trying to pull the honeypot, as it were?
We keep the conversation brief, and if it fails, I wipe her memory. It never happened.
We just leave it as it is and let her go on about her pointless existence. O'Hare is already a no-go zone.
Mm-hmm.
Getting her sort of on our side some makes it so that we have another avenue for transportation outside of the city, but also we can help dictate who replaces Flyboy.
That indeed we can. And I
Speaking
know
of
a
which-
pilot.
When do we want to handle Flyboy?
I would suggest personally not do anything to Flyboy until we've met with Felicity, because if we move on Flyboy first, she's going to think it's kind of that whole making the situation look poorly. I know where your head's at, Lamar. I totally get it, because I would be like, fuck it, we'll drive down there, we're gonna snatch Flyboy tonight, disappear him, be done with it.
But that would put
But-
her on edge.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know we know Flyboy works for her yet.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
That is to our advantage. Because if she is amicable to our bribery, as it were, then in trade for the gifts we have given, she gives us Flyboy.
Yep.
All right. Then we hold off on him until we figure out where Felicity's head is at, so to speak.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Like a plan.
Do we have a
Excellent.
time frame for when we want to reach out to her?
Soon-ish. In the colder months, it's better only because we have more
More
nighttime
time.
to work with. So we're not having it to be like, meet us here at 2 a.m. We can actually, like I said, if we set up a location properly, we can make it look like she's in a place full of people who are willing to, like normal people or whatever. She can have that crowd. So there's that kind of the human presence. It's that comfort factor for people potentially. So but if we have to do it when it's like in the summer and it's 2 a.m., that's a little bit harder of a sell. So
Mm-hmm. So I would imagine in the next week or two,
mm-hmm.
we will get all our things in order for what we plan to present and arrange a meeting. Okay, anything else we need to talk about tonight?
Oh, while you're here, I have some surveillance footage I'd like you to see from my shop. Not only from Allison, but I had a visitor who came after, the other night. Interesting fellow by the name of Balthazar. Came and warned me off of pursuing Allison in any way whatsoever.
Balthazar.
Yes, that's what he called himself.
Bruja, sheriff under Loden.
I kind of got the Bruja feeling from him, but I didn't know for sure. Okay,
Royal
that makes
asshole.
sense. That fits.
Yeah,
Yeah, perfect.
came across like a real bag of dicks.
That's about all I know about him.
Okay, but apparently
He's been kind of off the map since Loden fell, pretty much. Rumors are he might have gone anarch, who knows?
he apparently is very territorial and proprietary when it comes to Allison, so probably not going to be messing with her much.
Oh, did the big dog piss on his turf and you crossed it?
Yeah.
Fucking assholes. Okay, I'll take a look. That does remind me, though, Lamar and Jenny, you guys were going to look into other holdings in the domain for those tags.
Yep.
I reviewed the footage from Sylvester's because I took that with me before selling it to Nicholas here, and I found that it was Marco doing it. So at least that problem has
Corrected itself.
corrected itself. So
We'll probably still need to keep an eye out just in case if he was marking, that would indicate he's expecting people to come through, I would think.
you and I are right there.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure, because I was thinking, like, why would you tag a place and then be like, this is the secret, meeting marker, but then like not expect people to be following? Yeah, sorry.
If you have some people that can clean it. Otherwise, let me know and I'll get someone in to clean it.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe we just see who visits them, then clean them up. But
We can do that too.
I don't know.
We can do that too. I especially want to have Joe's checked and our club.
Oh, that. Yeah. On board with that. I just meant in general, because if the anarchs are kind of filtering through the domain,
Mm-hmm.
it would behoove us to see who stops and is looking at marks and things, and then we can know what's going on. So
Yes, we can. That is smart. So, excellent. But yes, far as I know, it was Marco doing that tag, at least by Sylvester's. If you find other tags, let me know. I will check footage and see if it was someone other than Marco.
Got it.
Okay, so Roscoe, take me to your security room.
Roscoe,
Okay.
as you're heading back to the security room, your back door rattles. The back door to your shop rattles as if somebody's trying to open the door.
Jackie takes out her
Okay.
45.
Lamar pulls
Okay.
his gun.
And I'll go to, since this is my sort of thing and my shop, I'll go open the door and see who it is.
When you open the door, there's one of the unhoused, one of the local street people standing on the other side of the door. Everybody give me wits awareness. Anyone who's gone to see this door, because it was loud enough, everybody heard the back door rattle. Everyone give me
Does
wits
instinct
awareness.
supply?
Sure.
Thank you.
Would concealed objects?
Concealed objects wouldn't.
Okay.
Isabella 4, nice. Jenny 4. Jackie 3. Got dice throwing every which way.
Nope,
Jackie,
Jackie's
4.
4.
Okay. Roscoe's got, hang on, Lamar has 3. Let me roll up and see who, Roscoe. Roscoe has 3. Jackie's at 4. Jenny's at 4. Isabella's at 4. And Lamar is going to do a willpower. Lamar 3. Still, that was Jenny's willpower. 4's enough. So Jenny, Jackie, and Isabella. So the ladies of the group all notice something odd about his eyes. If you didn't, actually, it's not a question. There appears to be fire dancing in the back of his eyes.
I'm going to rouse toughness.
It's the oddest thing. And it's almost as if a shadowed form is dancing in the fires gleefully, but it's reflected in his eyes. It is very unnerving. And Roscoe, when you open the door, the guy looks at you. The guy any change or booze or something else?
No, but the front doors are on the other side of the building. If you want to come in and
No, Roscoe.
Jackie actually steps in front of Roscoe at that point and points the 45 right in his fucking face and says, I think you need to leave.
Why the hostility?
Nicholas is going to use Oblivion Sight.
Okay. For you, Nicholas, when you turn on Oblivion Sight, something odd about this man. There is a shadow around him that is encompassing him, barely visible, almost like a spirit has engulfed him.
And when he says, why the hostility? I will not ask you again. You need to leave.
That's not polite. Why aren't you polite?
Trying
And-
to break in a back door is not polite.
And as he's talking, you start to see bits and pieces of the paper and debris in the alley start to swirl and build up, start moving around him and around the area.
Jackie takes the door and slams it in his fucking face.
And the door slams. And then you start hearing it rattle again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heavy door, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's beating against the door.
Is there like a book, a big cabinet or something nearby that Genevieve could basically knock over in front of the door?
Ask Roscoe.
No, don't deface my storeroom.
Dude, he's got like shit dancing in his fucking eyeballs.
Yes, I saw
So
fire
you need
in
to
his
shut your
eyes.
fucking mouth. Stop inviting people into your store, man.
I wasn't
Nicholas-
inviting him. I said if he wanted to come around the front.
When she says fire dancing in the eyes, yeah, you recognize that. That is something your clan's seen before.
Mm-hmm.
It's been possessed, but not by a good spirit.
Right.
Now, Nicholas knows this as a Hakata. It's definitely, for those that are aware of Wraith, the viewers and the players themselves, a specter has taken this person.
Be careful with him. He has a wraith inside.
Is he gonna fucking bust the door down then? Because
Is this gonna happen more often now that that altar thing is broken?
Certainly possible.
Genevieve's going to just basically shoulder into the fucking door if it's just
It
in
doesn't
case.
seem to be getting off the hinges. The individual doesn't seem to have any more strength than you'd expect from the individual. It's not like he's suddenly superhuman strength beating on the door, but I mean, it's rattling. But Roscoe has a heavy metal door for the back door because, well, that's one of the easy ways to break in normally. So he doesn't seem to be able to bust it open, but he's just rattling away at the back door.
We'll just we'll set the lock, the deadbolt locks and everything.
Okay. And he doesn't go around front, though those are glass and would probably be easier to get through.
Lamar's going to check the front just to be on the safe side.
And the vehicle's still parked out front. Etienne's not in the vehicle. He's kind of leaning by his driver's door, watching the area. Seems to be on alert already. But the door rattles, and the guy's screaming louder and louder about, hospitality. And every once in a while comes up with a, "Let me in."
What do you want?
Roscoe, talk to him later. Show me this video. Jesus
Okay.
Christ, you need to stop. God, that curiosity of yours. You're going to be like the cat that got killed by it.
And so while Roscoe takes Jackie over to the security area, what's everybody else doing? Is everybody else just going to watch the door?
Hey, Nicholas, it would be a bad thing if Lamar or I went back there and killed this guy, or
But we'd have to clean up the body first and foremost.
that's what Nicholas is here for.
The body isn't the problem. It's the wraith inside of him.
Okay, I don't know shit about this shit. Yes or no?
Would the wraith go like possess someone else after this, and we just have another body and another and another? How does this work?
I mean, yes. It's once the body's useless, he can just find another one.
Well, with Etienne being up front, I don't want him to be a target of this. So we
Okay,
should probably stay inside of that guy.
I got an idea. Lamar, you and I, what if we break his arms and legs and just leave him back there? He's not dead.
But then he'll just scream his full head off and draw
He's
more
already
attention.
screaming.
Now we knock him unconscious. That's a whole other thing.
So Nicholas is going to call out, Spectre, why are you here?
And the screaming stops. You know what I am?
Of course I do.
Fascinating. I didn't think your kind knew of us. It is a wild night for us. We roam the city.
What brings you here?
I smell one on you.
Oh, hell no.
Give
I
her
will
to
go break
me.
his arms and legs.
You will not have her.
And he starts shaking the door again. Let me in.
Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
And it stops screaming and shaking the door and stop making noise. What?
The straw house is about 3 blocks down. Go knock on that one.
I will go seek easier friends tonight. But be careful. Maelstrom lasts for days. We will find you again. Perhaps the stripling will visit. And there's a cackle outside the door that is louder than it should be. And even Jackie and Roscoe, who've gone over to the security room, can actually feel it up their spine.
Yeah. Tell Angela to fuck herself and all that too.
Look, see, we should have just broken his arms and legs.
Well, right now he's someone else's problem.
And Roscoe, you actually, other than getting that up your spine there, Jackie, he pulls up video footage and you see a kindred. You're pretty sure that's Balthazar, first of all. Though you haven't personally interacted with him, you've had a description as part of your initial dossier of Major Kindred in the city. And then he shows you one of a young woman, black hair. You kind of, having looked up the current chief of police, you can see the resemblance. And that's apparently Allison.
Okay. So we definitely have Balthazar, based on descriptions I have received of him. And Allison definitely resembles her father.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance yet to get the information I told you I'd get, or try to, but I will work on it. Okay. I'll do what I can for you, Roscoe.
Okay, thanks.
You try to get Samantha's last name, phone number, something. In the meantime, if you see her. Okay?
Okay. All right.
And as she's walking out, she actually is like thinking about the conversations that have been had this night. She's kind of like duly compartmentalizing and ignoring the fucking ghost shit because she doesn't do that spooky shit. So
As you're coming out of the security room, it no longer shaking the back door. Nothing's going on.
Did it leave?
For now.
For now.
So you want to
Excellent.
find easier prey?
Excellent. One thing I did just think of, storyteller, I'd like to use my clan merit on Jason Newberry to figure out how old he was.
Yep. As far as you know from comments and everything, he was actually embraced just before the turn of the 20th century. So that would put him over 100 years old.
I don't think Jason was new when he was messing around 20 years ago. He was embraced close to the time I was, from what all I've heard. He at least had a good century on him. So he might have been able to mess with Felicity's mind. If he directly was involved. If he had fucked with her father and her father was just mentioning his name, that wouldn't have messed with her mind. But if he threatened her or told her not to say anything or wiped her mind or anything like that, I'll be able to tell when I mention his name. I just had that thought. I was trying to think of everything I'd heard about him.
Well, there was also wasn't there the thought that it could have been old religious asshole? Maybe she saw him start the fire or something.
Like I said, we'll see if he went by the name Dr. Loomis from some horror movie, Halloween. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But basically, I'll bring that up and see how she reacts. So, well, what does that guy want?
Izzy.
Oh, well, we can't have that.
Of course not. We just aren't quite sure how to prevent it. You could just take another body.
I don't know, but I'm going to go get the body that's standing by my car out of here before he's a target. Good night, everyone. I have somewhere else to be.
Good night, Jackie.
Good one.
And then Nicholas will go over to Lamar. In your treasure trove, might you have a gun I can borrow?
I got you. Got a few of those laying around, so yeah, I got you.
Yeah. A whole giant duffel bag full in the trunk of the car you all took to the cabin, actually. Jackie, when you get outside, Etienne, he comes get your door, and as he's opening the door, definitely being watched, ma'am. They're good.
What did you see?
They're good. I think the rooftops, can't quite tell. Never get a clear view of them. They're real good.
Jackie's going to look at the roofs. What can she use?
I mean, you can go with your wits awareness. That's one to use. Let me see what else. Since the unseen might, if they happen to be using any kind of powers to hide, because that could explain why nobody can see them. It's up to you which one you want to do.
I'm going to basically surge.
Okay, go ahead.
On Sense the Unseen.
Okay.
Is this going to be a Wits Auspex or a Resolve Auspex?
Resolve all specs.
Wow,
Two's
that
not
was
bad.
terrible.
Yeah, 2's not bad. 3, huh? What was that extra one?
I roused because
Oh.
I surged.
You get hungrier. But as you go in and look, mine didn't roll that well either. There's definitely it is not obfuscate for sure. You're used to what you've already learned what that looks like. It's almost a translucent person. There's an odd, I guess the only way to describe it is a column of, it's a slight glow, hard to pick up, but it's a column of light as if something is bending. Well, I guess the only way to describe bending light around them. You see something, ma'am?
Indeed. It is like they are bending light around them.
Wait. That's not what your kind do. I have no idea, ma'am.
Give me a moment. She's going to walk right back into the damn shop.
Okay.
Roscoe,
Yes, Jackie, what's up?
can mages bend light around them?
Well, Roscoe, you were in training to be one. You know for a fact it can be done.
It can be done, yeah. Why? What do you see?
That's what I'm seeing on the rooftops across the street.
Can you point them out to me?
Certainly. And she walks to the door and points where she saw it.
Okay.
I would like to look up there and see if I see anything.
Okay. You can also do resolve all specs.
Can Nicholas look?
Go ahead. You gonna use Oblivion Sight?
Yeah.
For you with Oblivion Sight, it's a roof. No ghost.
Well, because I think Oblivion Sight, I can use it for like anything that's trying to hide supernaturally.
No, I believe not. I'll double check. Let me pull it up. I got it right here. Oblivion Sight. Becomes supernaturally dark. You can penetrate low light penalties, including those of supernatural origins. But it's still not, if a ghost is present and not attempting stealth, you can't see them. So really, because of what you're looking, you don't see anything up there. I mean, it looks clear as daylight.
Okay.
Roscoe, you have 2?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Not enough.
It's been a long time, but I don't see anything. But what does it look like to you?
It looks like a column where there's some, like, almost glowing light, but it basically, they are bending light around themselves to conceal themselves. Doing like a mirror trick almost.
Yeah, that would kind of describe it. Okay.
I've seen magicians do
As
it.
you say that, Jackie, since you've already seen it, you can still see it. Suddenly, it disappears from the edge of the roof. It backs up over the ledge and fades from and is out of sight.
It just moved from the edge and backed up. Now I can't see it.
Maybe that's the what I felt when I came in the shop earlier tonight. It was just a kind of one of those hair on the back of your neck feelings.
Whoever it is, they are very good. Very good. You attract the weirdest fucking attention, Roscoe.
Tempted to go.
It's a living.
Well, that's all I wanted to tell you. Now I am leaving.
Okay. Why would a mage be coming down here? Well, anyway, good evening, Jackie.
Good evening, Roscoe.
Jackie.
Good evening, everyone.
Goes and departs and gets in the vehicle to ride off with Etienne because she's got one other place to go. But actually, I think we're going to go to break here because it's a good spot. We've got a break in the scene. So I think we'll use that to our advantage to take a break. So please, everybody. Wow, it's been an interesting first half. The whole coterie got together and they had a whole lot to talk about. And a specter even popped in for a visit that Roscoe at first invited in, but
No,
I mean, it was going to come in anyway.
No.
It doesn't need to be invited. It comes in if it wants, or if you leave the door open, which it didn't work out that way, did it?
Mm-mm.
Please, everyone, enjoy the break. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins. She really is your black Bathory. I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered. All my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, brick me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory, blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins. Black Bathory. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator who can't remain the prey, you have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you? Or is it me? Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in the world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within. Do you burrow within? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or Or do you feel alive?
Welcome back. Before the break, well, yeah. There were some interesting times. A mage is watching Roscoe's shop. Jackie didn't give a shit about a maelstrom being caused. Slammed the door on a fucking specter. Balthazar has been established to be a dick. And, I mean, that's the major points. Oh, and Isabella told them so.
Yes.
I think that about covers all the good stuff. And Jenny wanted to go break the specter's legs and arms. I mean, it's fine. So where this picks up is, of course, Jackie, you got back in the car with Etienne. Did you figure out this watching thing, ma'am?
Yes, I think it was a mage.
Now, aren't they, like, not what we should fuck with, ma'am?
Yes, exactly. That's why we're leaving.
Oh, yes, ma'am. You said you Crooks Lounge, of all places?
Yes, the one here in Southside.
You know, I can't go in with you because if I leave the car unattended
Oh, I know.
around that place,
I know.
I won't have a car.
I don't think I'll be in there long.
Yes, ma'am. Just shout if you need me, or, well, I'll know if you need me.
You'll know.
And he drives off down to the south side. Now, as you go to the south side, it's in one of the worst parts of the area.
Of course it is.
Crooks Lounge is a very odd place. It's a combination dive bar and alcohol store. It's a liquor store and dive bar in one.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy the liquor in one half, go into the other half to drink it. Yeah, it is not exactly a nice place. It's a very seedy place that is well known by the criminal element as a place to just hang out in a dark room and do dark deeds.
Mm-hmm.
And when you pull up, of course, right out front, the sign says Crooks Lounge. It's like half fallen off the building. I mean, he's obviously got a shtick that he's running with this place, and he's running it to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And Etienne looks over at it. I'll be right here, ma'am.
I should not be long. And she gets out of the car and she walks in.
And when you walk in, of course, all the eyes turn towards you. That you can see, it's very dimly lit. I mean, it's half the bulbs are even out for some reason, like they're not replacing the bulbs in the place.
Well, it is run by a Nosferatu, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And when you come in, one of the guys over to the side of the door, you hear him just kind of cough a bit. And you sure you're in the right place?
That depends. Is the owner here?
Well, I just don't think this is the kind of place you should be in. You might want to be careful, miss. This crowd's kind of disreputable. And then you hear some laughs coming from the other part of the room. And a guy in the back screams out, "Oh, we're reputable. Come sit with me. You can sit right here in my lap."
Not sure if you can afford me, darling.
No, you'd be amazed. And out of the back room comes a very short individual. I think saying he was 5 foot would be on a good day. Kind of hunched over a bit. And while the face definitely is not one you recognized, he's still walking with like a hunched forward movement.
She knows who it is.
Looks more like a kid than an adult. Or an adult that was very undernourished and never kind of grew up. And he kind of scurries over, and as he's coming over towards you, he's almost humming. Some sort of, you can't recognize the tune, but he's humming something. "Hey, Jackie, nice to see you here. Welcome to my
Yes.
place."
Is there somewhere private we can speak for just a moment?
He looks like, "You hear that, boys? She don't like your company."
That's right. I prefer his.
There's a bunch of laughing. And somebody in the back says, "You know, I'll show you a real man.
I'm sure you would there. Mm-hmm.
Follow me to the back." And he's got this weird kind of, it's not like you saw him that one night where he was almost, I don't know, too gruff. He seems to be putting on a smile and a laugh and seems to be in a very good mood as he takes you to a back room. And when you get in the back room, It's actually a little more than a storage closet with a stairway leading down.
Okay.
What business you got with Crick tonight?
Well, I had sent you on a bit of a mystery to investigate.
Yeah, the fire thing. Yeah, I remember that. Don't know.
Interesting, because I found out.
It wasn't me. I'm just saying.
She takes out a matchbook from her pocket.
It wasn't me. That's my bars. That wasn't me.
An associate of yours. And she hands him the matchbook.
Okay.
Open it up. You'll see who.
He opens up, and when he looks at the scripter, he proceeds to take one match out, light it, and then set the book on fire. I need a raw Shrek from Jackie, and I'm going to roll one from him, too. Because, of course, I have to. Roll a frenzy check. That 3's
I'm
enough.
good. Jackie doesn't even flinch.
Okay, then let me do that. He flinches a bit from the fire, but doesn't run. And once he gets the matchbook burning, he drops it on the ground, stomps on it. That fucking goddamn fucking shit. Fucking Bordroff, that mother.
He'll
Fuck
never
him.
set another fire again.
Wait. You killed him?
Oh, I didn't.
Fuck. It was mine. Fuck. God damn. Fuck.
I didn't do it.
Well, yeah, but he's gone and
Mm-hmm.
he was mine.
Sorry.
I was going to get that holier than thou preachy motherfucker and I was going to burn him up.
Yep, well, you missed your chat. You missed 2 opportunities, Crook. What have you been so busy with?
Other things, you know, I've got bars to run and people to see and... Ooh, I got Bordroff finally burned that fucking church to the ground.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, you wouldn't.
You shouldn't do that.
Well, I mean, they told me I shouldn't do a lot of things.
An associate of mine holds the interest there now.
No, I won't burn him.
Charles.
Don't call me, I'm Crook. My mother called me Charles.
Well, I'm not your mother.
No, because she burned in a fire.
Jesus Christ, man.
Look,
Leave the church alone.
I didn't do that either.
Right, of course you didn't do that.
Hey,
I wanted to just make you aware. So you don't have to keep looking if you were looking.
I was looking, but now I feel like I owe you. Then you come, you kind of. I was in a good mood. I was happy. Now I feel I owe you.
It was a minor inconvenience. It's just a small favor down the road.
Yeah.
Deal?
No. I'm not going to owe you like that. Let me think here. I'm thinking about what we. I've heard some rumors that. I'm going to give you rumors and then we're going to call ourselves square here.
Excellent.
Some people in Gary have taken an interest in your group. Your little coterie.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of people that, you know, aren't always the nicest of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the rumor has it.
I'm aware of the folks from Gary.
No. I'm talking they've taken an interest in your group.
Hmm.
Like asking some of the how can I put this? Some of the Nosferatu on the outside of everything, asking some of them questions about you all.
Interesting.
You know, these are the types that Winnetka wouldn't give the time of day. Those types.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know, keep your head down. Yeah, That's there you go. Advice from Crook. Keep your head down.
I appreciate it, Crook.
You know, if you can't keep your head down, I got a hunch.
What's that?
Nope. He leans forward again, and you see his sloped back.
I know.
Killing my jokes, too. God. Now my mood's really bummed. I think I'm...
Oh, I'll make it up to you later, I promise.
Just watch out, because there's groups.
I understand.
Yeah, well.
That's okay. I've happened to heard some things about them, too. And she just smiles. You have a lovely evening.
Now that you've shit on it, sure, I'm going to have a great time. And as you step out of the back room, you hear a Zippo being flipped open and closed all of a sudden. Just flick, 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 flick.
And Jackie just laughs and walks
And as you're
right
walking
out.
through the place, you wear him out already?
What can I say? I have a voracious appetite.
Hey, you can come sit in my lap.
Again, you couldn't afford me. And she just walks out.
And as you go out, Etienne, he's not left the vehicle this time.
Mm-hmm.
But he, as soon as you come out there, he comes over and opens the door. He goes, okay, that was quick.
Mm-hmm.
And he hops in, shuts the door for you, and then gets in on his size up. Bam, where to?
There's a place, and she tells him of a little place that she wants to go.
Okay, then y'all drive off.
Mhm.
Now, we're going to skip a night or two because a certain individual, Somber in this group, has a date with Kathy.
Do I need to roll my hunting roll to reduce my hunger?
Go ahead. You can roll your hunting roll while we deal with some of this date stuff. Though there's a time skip and there'd been more than enough time to hunt, but you can roll anyway since we're doing it mid-episode, because why not? Let's see if bad things come. Someone say that name real quick to curse the dice. I'm not going to do it because, well, nope, too late. So yeah, you can do some hunting and reduce your hunger. Now, Lamar, the night you're heading out, Kathy tells you one of the parks in Chicago. It's actually not far from Chinatown. But it's not in Chinatown, so you're safe.
Okay.
It's a rather nice, it's a nice park. And she just tells you to meet her, right on the park bench, and she gives you the closest street to it. Now, are you aiming to be there early, or are you going to be there, late, on time? What is your plan?
Lamar will be there early.
Okay. And so you're waiting at the park bench. Go ahead and go, give me wits awareness, just in case. Okay. And S4 is a very good roll for that. It's not that many people because, winter, Chicago, kind of cold. But as you're sitting there, you could definitely tell as she's walking up. You do hear her heels on the concrete, and her silhouette is definitely an individual that you can recognize from a distance. As she approaches, though, she does appear to be breathing. You can see the puff of vapor every once in a while. Obviously, she's already done Blush of Life as she's walking. And you're not sure you've ever seen her use it before because her skin is definitely taking a almost alive tone to it. You've normally seen either very new kindred or ones whose beast isn't really that powerful yet be able to look that way.
As before she arrives, I will buy 2 hot chocolates from a nearby vendor.
Oh, you can find them. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll buy 2 hot chocolates and I'll just hold on to them until she arrives.
As she walks up, she comes over and immediately gives you a big hug, kisses you on each cheek. Hey, Lamar.
Good evening. I got this for you, by the way.
Ooh. And she grabs it. She goes, good for the hands. Keeps them warm.
That's what I was thinking.
To chill in the night's air.
Yeah, that whole winter thing.
And she puts her arm around your waist. Shall we walk?
We shall. And
as you start to walk, she leans into you. We got to keep appearances and all. You know, it's cold out here. We're going to share body heat.
oh yeah, definitely.
And she leans up closer to you. So how you been?
Doing all right. Just trying to make sense of a few things here and there.
And her hand comes up and she gently strokes the side of your cheek. You're looking a little paler than you used to. Everything okay on your end?
Like I said, been a few rough couple of weeks and just working through it all.
Yeah. I get to, you're always working through things. That's the feeling I get.
Yeah, this city is full of what's the
Things?
word I'm looking for? Well, I mean things, but more specifically uncomfortable truths that we all got to confront.
Now that's pretty true. I'm checking something right here real quick. Okay, cool.
Like came across just something really weird.
Oh, what? Like what?
Like the Italians in this town, they've been really on edge the last few months. And when I started poking into it, found out that whoever is calling the shots, well, I get the feel they're reporting to, and you're not gonna believe this, but some guy who must think he's Al Capone.
He's dead. So I wouldn't worry about all that.
You know, and that's what I heard until someone confirmed it.
Now that's an interesting thing to know because Alexa's the one who killed him.
Huh.
Maybe she's slipping.
I mean, I wouldn't say that out loud, but and
I can.
he'll take a moment and pretend to sip at his hot cocoa. But I just think the question needs to be asked out loud by someone capable of doing so.
I mean, so instead of a date, you've just invited me here to feed me info, huh? She rolled very well on her insight check on you, Lamar.
No, I definitely wanted to see you, but I also thought you might want to hear about something like that.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of juicy little tidbit that is fun to spread around. You know,
Yeah.
I guess we can be both a date and business.
Business and pleasure, I think they can be mixed. A lot of people don't, but I think so.
No, well, I mean, sometimes the pleasure is the business and sometimes the business is the pleasure.
How are things going for you? How's Nero doing?
He's not quite sure. He's not, well, catatonic. Look at me strangely tonight when Evan came to keep an eye on him, watching me. Something's going on in his head. I just don't know what it is.
And I mean, I got a little worried about after our last date about how things were going to go, but I'm just glad you're okay. And I wanted to say that to
Yeah,
you.
well, it got me in a little bit of trouble, but don't worry, I covered for you. I have connections.
And that was great of you. I really appreciate
I guess
that.
you owe me.
You know what, Kathy?
A few more of these dates and I'll consider us even. How about that?
It's fair. It's fair price.
Lamar, you're being followed. I'm basing it off your earlier roll. You're being followed.
And he'll actually take her hand and kind of guide her. When they get to like a fork in the path, he'll take her, off towards the left side. I wouldn't look now, but I think we have an admirer, someone who wants to write the epic story that is us, because they are really scoping us out.
Okay, let me roll for this real quick. Are you sure? Because, I haven't noticed anything.
In my line of work, you kind of get to know when someone's paying a little too much attention, or when they make one too many turns the same places you have. So,
well, what do you? So a little bit of danger. So tell me, you've dealt with this more than me. How do you deal with it?
Oh, I'm more of a cut right to the heart of the matter guy, as in, open up the rib cage, pull the heart out, and play hacky sack with it. But you being here makes me rethink a lot of things. So what do you say? Let's see if we keep walking and get this person
And as you're
slip
talking
up.
to her, Lamar, you can feel the tension in her body shift. She may be playing like she doesn't know, but you've been around dangerous people enough to know she's gone from languid, kind of relaxing against you, to leopard about to pounce on somebody. Yeah, we can go down here and lure him into something, I guess. Part gets darker over there. Or we can stick to the lights over here.
Stick to the lights, because
as you move towards the light, Lamar, Park's not that packed at this time of night. There's a blur coming towards you. All you can see it as is a blur.
$12. Got another visitor.
Please roll Dex plus Brawl.
I will rouse.
Okay, go ahead. Roll for me. Okay, and you get hungrier. And a voice speaks in your head. She's a harlot. Thou shalt not covet another man's wife.
Oh, we definitely come from different times.
3. Not enough. Something slams into you, grabs you by your lapels, and slams you into a light post, holding you up off the ground. And not 3 inches, well, from your own face, you see this individual. Share the picture. Hey, Shadow Boy. What you doing muscling on my girlfriend? And
Not
you notice
catatonic, you said.
you notice he's not as blank-faced as the first time you even met him. And Kathy has got a shocked look on her face. She's got her hand over her mouth, and she genuinely looks like she didn't expect this. And he looks over. Babe, he bothering you? She's like, oh God, what? And he's still got you picked up off the ground, 3 inches from your face, and he turns his head back. You know, going after another man's girl, that's dangerous.
You know, if you wanted to join up, you could have just said, you could have asked.
Why would I ask?
I'm trying to think of how to break this down enough to where even you'll get it. You ever heard the phrase happy wife, happy life?
And he actually just throws you from the lamppost. You ever heard the phrase, don't rub another man's rhubarb?
You ever heard the one fuck around and find out?
I've heard that one. As you can
Here's
see,
your official.
I am feeling better.
Are you? Well, that's wonderful. But the lady and I, we were having a conversation before you jumped on in here.
Yeah. And I've come to take her home. Unless you got a problem with that. Do you shadow dance her?
Kathy, are you ready to go home?
And she is cutting eyes between the both of you, and she just doesn't. She's Nero. What? Nero. He looks over. I got him, babe. Just hang on. I guess you get a choice. Date's over. Well, or we have a little more fun. Either way.
Well,
and actually, Kathy comes over to you and she puts her arm on her shoulder. Let me go with him. I'll talk with you later. Let me find out what's changed here.
no, it's quite clear what's changed. He's been faking it for the sympathy. I mean, if I were in his place, maybe I'd do the same, but then again, I got a little class, so probably wouldn't. But you two, Kathy, this is another time when you two need to work out whatever the hell this is and leave me out of it. When you decide what you really want, hit me up. You got my number.
And Nero looks over. Stick to the shadows with your own kind.
But
Don't make
okay,
me
we're not
come
the
in
same.
there after you. I can play in shadows too.
I wouldn't come too far over this way. You send anyone you want, just don't send anyone you want back. Good night. And Lamar will turn and leave.
And as you turn to leave, you see Kathy. She's got a worried look on her face as she watches you walk away. And Nero just stares at you. And just watches you walk away. Now, I know we got a time skip, but does Lamar want to tell anybody about this before we do a time skip? Because I think that changed a whole lot.
He will just, you know what? He'll mass text the group, and Nero's a little more awake than we thought.
Jackie calls him
Calls who?
Lamar.
Okay.
Shouldn't have Nero's number.
Yeah. But, you know, I didn't.
Lamar?
Hey, Jackie. Yeah, he just accosted me in the park.
Come to my place. We'll talk.
Will do.
And Lamar heads over. to Jackie's place.
Mhm.
Is that your haven?
Yeah.
Okay.
He knows where it is. He's been there.
So, Lamar, you are met at the door once again by Etienne. Mr. Cade. She's in her study.
Thank you, Etienne. Good to see you again tonight.
Good to see you, sir. Seen the news lately? It's kind of weird. Obviously, this has to do with whatever you all were into, because somebody was wondering if Ghostbusters is being filmed because there's sightings constantly right now of weird shit.
Yeah, about that. It should all be wrapping itself up pretty soon from what I'm told. So we got to just keep our heads down.
No. I keep my head down as long as Mr. Rand wants me to. Otherwise, I guess handled everything else, we'll handle that too, right, sir?
Absolutely.
And he escorts you back and knocks on the study door, and ma'am, he's here.
Okay.
And he lets you in. Be out here, ma'am.
Thank you, Etienne. Please, come have a seat, Lamar.
Lamar sits down, and you can see as he sits down, he's not moving. He's not moving much, but he has kind of grasped the sides of the armrest of the chair a little tight.
Jackie actually reaches a hand over to his hand and says, "Are you okay?"
I'm fine. Nero just tried to jump me in the park. I was walking with Kathy, and he shows up and starts running his mouth. And the last Toreador that ran their mouth to me, I feel like we may have to deal with him again if he's up and running like he was before. The last time he killed 20 people?
10.
10. Well,
close enough.
But yeah.
Interesting. I may have a solution, but I'll have to see what I can do. You got the information to Kathy?
I did.
Excellent. Excellent.
So yeah, you should probably hear we should probably see Alexa being pretty pissed off here very soon when she hears about people talking about her possible fuck up. So
Excellent. Okay, well. Jesus. So he wasn't like detached and distant, he was feisty.
no, he was feisty for a century jar of mayonnaise.
Oh, fantastic. Did he still appear... well, detached from his humanity, as it were?
I mean, he if I didn't know any better, I'd have thought he was a Bruja, the way he was all piss and vinegar and ready to go right then and there.
What did he do? What did he say?
Asked if why I was trying to muscle in on his girl. Now,
Possessive.
never done that before. Yeah, possessive. We did the usual tough guy shit back and forth. But
that little shit? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he went there, and it was almost kind of fun. Had I shot him like I was intending to, we'd have a mess on our hands to clean up. I didn't want to do that just yet, so...
Appreciate your restraint. Interesting. I will have to get to know this new Nero. I've never known Nero in this form.
Yeah, very possessive, very edgy.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm glad you are okay. Truly. I would suggest If Kathy wants to meet up until I can get more information, hold off on that.
Yeah.
The last thing we need is you alone with her where he can jump you again.
Yeah, that was his one and only chance. His next trip to Camp Fuck Around and Find Out will end up with him being the visitor of the month, so to speak.
How exactly active was he?
Like he was the aggressor. He came. He showed up. He looked like he was ready to go.
Really?
He wanted to throw down right there if I had gone for it.
All right. That informs me what I'm potentially working with. Excellent. Okay. Well, lay low, avoid Kathy. For now.
Got it.
The most important use of her has been done. She will spread that rumor like wildfire. Hopefully it will reach Ballard's ears and he starts looking into Al Capone. Because that may send Al Capone packing.
Well, we take care of that problem. That'll be great.
Yeah.
Then we just have, one IK.
Yeah. I found out from Crook that folks in Gary have been asking about our coterie to NOS outside of the main network of NOS in the city. Likely Crook is one of them that they're asking.
Folks in Gary asking about us specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you make of that? Or they think they're looking for an inroad against Jackson, or you think they're looking to take out potential backup before they make a
I think
move?
my maneuver with Loden fucked up some major plans. I believe there is a puppet master pulling strings of anarchs down in Gary. I have no idea who that puppet master is, but I believe they might be potentially Camarilla. Using anarchs as disposable weapons. And sending them to reinforce Al Capone. Whether to destabilize or whatever, I don't know. But there is something going on here. And I think it's about time I talk to Dredd.
As I say, do we know anyone in Gary that would want to mess things up around here? Or
not that I'm aware of. But I think it's time I talk to Dredd. Get the wolf pack in on this.
Yeah. Probably make them think twice if they know Archons are going to come down on their heads, especially if they're Camarilla.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, that is what we are contending with, and if they have realized that we've been pissing in their Wheaties in Southside, they may see us as a target.
Do we know anyone in Gary that might be able to give us some info? Or
all I know is the woman who is running it. Storyteller, please refresh my memory of her name. Is it Evelyn? Evelyn Stevens? Yep. Yes. Okay. Evelyn Stevens. She is, I believe, the Baron there in Gary. She is the one sending the reinforcements to Capone. I don't know much about her. I can find out from Dredd. But I don't believe... The thing that doesn't make sense to me, why I don't think it's the Anarch's initial idea, why I think there's someone in the tower pulling their strings, is because Anita is Baron for the Anarch holdings in Chicago.
Right.
If Evelyn is trying to step into Southside, that's potentially infringing on Anita's shit. Anita wouldn't stand for that.
And if the Anarchs here are busy, Jackson can't call on them either.
Right.
Police themselves.
Right. So that's why I'm thinking someone is pulling strings. I don't know who. But if we can get Capone run out of the city, that whole bullshit goes to pot. That's why it was urgent that we do this. Especially once I saw those marks on the walls.
Okay. Well, I can get back to looking into it, making sure that there are no other ones to be cleaned up or looked at, and then you let me know what anything else you need. I'll look into that, but I might actually try to pursue this a little from my end, just see if I can get some information.
That'd be
there
great.
might be someone I can get some information too. So,
And I know you can hide in shadows. Can you see people that are hiding in shadows?
no, not yet, and given the last few weeks, it's a skill I need to develop, but I am short on teachers, so to speak.
I get you. Because I have a feeling Alexa's fucking around down there.
You don't think? I mean, Alexa was supposed to be the one that took out Capone, right? That's the story. You don't think maybe Capone's got her in his pocket, do you?
If not her, then the one who holds her bonds.
Yeah, having that jerkwad wrapped around his finger wouldn't hurt either. He's got a lot of connections here in the city, and
But Capone is, one, he is Ventru. Two, he's a fucking gang lord. So, he would do whatever it took to survive.
right?
He had to have offered her or a Luke something that they could not refuse.
Who benefits?
Exactly. Who benefits? So, that is what I'm dealing with. I don't have all the answers. And I don't know if I'll ever get all the answers. But I can at least try to stymie problems as they arise. As best as I can. Because ultimately I want Southside to be stable so that your interests, Roscoe's interests, Jenny's interests can flourish.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need the warfare down there to stop so that we can start rebuilding things and getting that whole sense of security back.
Mm-hmm. I also found out where the One-Eyed King likes to hide.
What do you want to do about that?
I've already done it. I informed the Primogen of the Nosferatu. Because he's hiding in the Undercity.
That magnificent bastard. It took brass ones, just to say that you're the king of something when someone else is already running stuff, but just right there in the Undercity, like no fucks given.
Yeah.
It's like just wear a neon sign and a sandwich board that says, please come kick my ass or something.
Cedric seems to think that one of his clan might be helping him because he's navigating the Undercity to get around the city.
Is there anyone here that's like not in someone else's
No, everyone is in someone's pocket.
There's someone's pocket.
But yes, it's definitely funny. Oh, and I also heard about some kind of club in the Undercity. One that moves around a lot and does very illegal to our society activities.
What's it called?
I don't know, but basically I'm sure they do like blood raves and stuff.
Hmm.
Cedric said it's young kindred basically getting their kicks.
heard a little something about. I've heard of something like that, and there's someone I know that is looking to find out about a place like that because someone that we're looking for may be hanging out there. And yeah,
You are welcome.
Yeah, because thank you for the tidbit. Because all right, I'll supply that to her because I'm going to tell you something. There may or may not be a unannounced kindred in the city. When I find them, I'm just going to quietly take them off the list.
Oh.
So.
Do you know anything about another Lasombra in the city? Gentleman. Gray hair. Oh, well, graying hair. He's brunette, but has graying sides. Very distinguished looking, but very intense. Saw him at Isabella's place.
She mentioned that, and no one by that description came in the delegation. So whoever
Do you know
they
his name?
are, she said, Braden, I think. Braden White.
I don't know anything about him. I didn't speak with him, I just noticed him.
No, but whoever he is, he didn't come with the delegation. So he's I don't know if he's looking for Sierra or if he's looking to find and speak with someone else. But I told her I'd maybe just take a look around the club one of these nights and see if I catch sight of him.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eyes open for him at my establishment as well. If he likes nightlife, he's bound to make the rounds.
Yeah. And either that or he'll just come, he'll just show up and come to talk to us because that's what people do in this town. They just find their way into our club eventually, so.
Yep. All right. Well, I am sure you have things you need to do. And I know I have things I need to do, but really, yeah, just avoid Kathy for now.
I'll do that. I have more than enough work to keep me busy, so.
Excellent. If you need me for anything, you call.
Will do.
Very well. Good
Lamar
night.
Steps out. Now, this same night, Isabella, you're at your little pub. And Emilio comes over to you from watching door. Hey, Isabella. There's a guy at the door asking to speak with you. How can I put this? I think he's giving off man horror vibes. Definitely not your type. But he's rather insistent to speak with you.
And is there a reason he's not allowed in from your viewpoint? I just want to know what I'm getting into here.
I get the feeling if he walks into place, we're going to need to give the whole building a shot of antibiotics.
Yeah, let's not have to do that. She goes out and tries to see what's up.
And out front, catching the eye of a large number of women, oddly enough, is a very gorgeous man. Sharing his picture now. Extremely well built. I mean, just muscles on his muscles. Long blonde hair. Hair's perfectly styled, even in the Chicago wind, which is weird because, I mean, the wind you would think would muss it up, but the mussing of it is actually apparently part of the look. And he does have a slightly blank expression on his face, but when he sees you, he comes over, and as he's walking over, he literally, you can watch him, IU starts at your head, goes all the way down your body and all the way back up.
Can I help you?
Oh, hey, baby. You can. I'm sure you've heard of me. Most of the ladies around here know me. I'm Brett.
What?
Oh, come on. You gotta know who I am. Man, I put on a show. Hey, ladies, y'all want to see a show? And he starts unbuttoning his shirt.
Okay, hold on. We're not doing this here. We don't have to hose the place down from whatever the hell is going to happen here.
I mean, hosing it down sounds right. I mean, you know what they say. Once you've seen Brett, you always get wet. It's okay.
Sure. Whatever you need to tell yourself. Brett, was it?
Yeah, Brett Stryker. I was sent here by Annabelle.
Oh. Was there a particular reason she sent you?
I mean, because she likes to have me do things like that for her. She says I make a great messenger.
What's the message?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. I've got distracted. All these beautiful
Clearly.
ladies. Get with you in a minute. Let me finish my business here. I'll come right over to you. We can blow this joint. I take you. I got a place we can go. Don't worry.
Come on.
Sorry. Yeah, she says you need to go and meet her over at the Succubus Club. Yeah, ladies, I can
Succubus
get you
Club.
in there. You want Succubus Club? Let's go.
Dude, Brett.
Sorry. Yes.
Thank you.
But she says tonight, so you might want to get a
Did she
move on.
say Why?
She wants to meet with you. And
That's it?
she's kind of your boss, so you kind of have
I mean,
to.
yes, I get that, but I would like to know what I'm walking into. If you could tell me
She just,
if there's any more to the message.
oh,
You
no,
seem
she
to
just said
be a
she
little
needed to meet with
distracted.
you because she's been sending me to talk to, talk to all the flower garden around here.
Okay. Well, thank you for the message, Brett.
You sure? I can
I
take my shirt
appreciate it.
off. I mean, these ladies would like to see it. Y'all know
I think
you
there's a
want it.
great place down the road for that.
Yeah, Succubus Club.
Yeah, why don't you go do that there?
And, oh, I will. Come on, ladies. And like 3 of them get out of line and start walking with him as he goes down there. And, I mean, he's talking, but all he's talking about is his muscles, and he's going to table dance and everything but what could be called adult conversation or engaging conversation. It's pretty much centered on him and what he can do and how much of a privilege it is for these women to be walking with him down the street.
Isabella just like kind of shakes her head and walks back in, and she looks to Emilio and just like, he's blacklisted. Come up with the reason why he's never coming in whenever he shows up.
We don't want the place condemned by the health department for syphilis.
Whatever you need to tell him, I don't think he'll believe that.
I mean, I think we'd get hepatitis with him touching anything.
I agree with you. This is why he's banned. But whatever you need to tell him to keep him out.
Or, yeah, we'll make sure he doesn't come in because, damn.
I feel like a good distraction would probably be the best bet. Point him off somewhere else. Say there's a mirror down the road. Maybe 2.
That might work. That actually might work. Or tell him his hair's out of place, and I bet you he'd run for it.
Exactly.
He strikes me as that type. I mean, look, he wasn't even eyeballing me, and I felt dirty.
It seems like this really isn't his place anyway. So I'm sure we could easily convince him
Yeah.
that there's probably more places suited to him
He
elsewhere.
definitely doesn't strike me as the pub type. He strikes me more of like the, I don't know, the $2 strip club. That,
I was going to say walk in the back alleys prowling for people, but that works too.
He's got the muscles to be working a pole, all the poles, if you get what I mean. Maybe in the back room with a private dance.
Would not surprise me. But anyway, like I said,
We got to go out tonight.
yes, we were going to Succubus Club. I'm going to send... I've been told about the Succubus Club, so I'm going to send a quick message to my associates and tell them all and see if they would like to join. Whatever this may entail.
Sure thing, Isabella. I mean, you want me to come with you?
Let me check it out first.
I mean, by the way, that Nicholas guy, he likes to carry a doctor's bag if this Brett guy's going to be there. See if he's got some antibiotics in the bag. Just to
I don't think
if you see those
Nicholas's
3 girls he
medicine-
left with, give them the antibiotics.
His medicine will only be good after they're dead, so it'll be too late.
Oh, well. Okay.
I know.
I'd play a prank on him, but he didn't strike me as the type who would understand anything happened.
He wouldn't get it.
No.
He'd probably just think he misplaced something.
Oh, I could use the Jedi mind trick. I saw that movie. I don't know if you've seen it, but I just wave my hand and say things and he'll do it. It strikes me as that dumb.
I don't think he's dumb. I think he's quite smart. I just don't think he finds humor in the things that most of us find humor in.
No, and anything.
Unless you're talking about Brett.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he showed up talking in third person singular, I wouldn't have been shocked.
Okay. Yeah. No.
I'll get the car ready, ma'am. Isabella, I'll get the car ready. You make your calls. I'll make sure we're ready to roll. Want me to get out some club attire for you?
Yes, Amelia, that'd be great.
I'll lay it out on the bed for you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep, and he goes off into the back room, letting you send your message. Now, what messages are you sending?
I'll just send a group text saying Annabelle wants to meet. Succubus Club, anyone?
Jackie actually responds, "We can meet in the garage next to it and go in together."
Sounds perfect. Meet you there.
So is everybody going to the Succubus Club?
Message from Lamar. Sigh.
Genevieve sends a text. Genevieve sends a text that just says, "Wait, what? Shit. I thought we were. Oh, fuck it."
That's the actual text.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the actual text. She's like, I'll find my way there. So.
Okay. And so the coterie gathers. I'm going to give you all a brief scene in the garage before we're not going to get to the Succubus Club this episode, but I'm going to give you all a scene as y'all gather there so y'all can pregame your Succubus Club plans. Because this isn't a place you walk into unprepared, any of you. And it's kind of late in the evening, but not that late as you all gather in this cold garage.
Jackie actually steps out of her car and she is wearing a gold club dress with a fur coat. And you see she has her rose brooch on. So, we are going in this place. It is always better to go in a group. We will, of course, allow you to handle your clan business so long as we can get in. And we will be there as backup if you need us.
Of course. Have you had any experience with this Brent guy?
Brett? Yes. Oh my God. Did he say once you go Brett, you'll always stay wet?
Yes.
Yes. He came on to me in Elysia once and I laughed in his face.
At Elysia, of all places?
I laughed in his face and walked away.
Good.
Yes. He is, the definition of, Jenny, you called it a himbo?
Yes.
Yes.
And Evan actually speaks up. He's going for my title? Oh, Jenny, we can't have this.
I know you two would have the bout of the century, but no, he's so special. He couldn't even. No, sorry, he could get into Blue Velvet, but he was told no. Yeah. I was gonna say, since I don't know, I've never been here. I didn't want to come here. I'm doing this for y'all. Rule number 1 of the Predator's Den: don't go off alone.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Cover your drinks with your hand, you know.
And we all know roses have thorns.
Don't we all?
Mm-hmm.
And be very careful about who you talk to in here, especially if you run into anybody named Portia.
Yeah. Don't be alone
Don't-
with her.
Don't be alone with her at all.
But she is the proprietress, so show her respect.
Of course, I'm not planning on speaking to many people outside of Annabelle necessarily. I've been thoroughly warned about this place.
Mm-hmm.
Rather not
Great.
risk
It's a
it.
viper's den.
So as this coterie gets ready to go into the one place that they don't like going, for some reason, they have to go in there.
Because of our storyteller being sus.
This is where we're going to end this episode with Lamara found out Nero's not as catatonic as they expected, nor is he a hollowed out core of a kindred anymore. Jackie got some very important information from Lamar about that, though, because she has a mission on that. Roscoe found out, well, a mage is watching this place. Jenny wanted to break the arms and legs of an impoverished individual that happened to be possessed, so it's okay. We understand. I mean, it was a good solution. Isabella finally got the privilege, as Brett would call it, of meeting Brett. I mean, Brett says it's a privilege to meet him. Isabella doesn't seem impressed. Nicholas, you had to admit to Jackie what you did, and Jackie's like, eh. Roscoe, don't worry. The mage watching your place is totally safe. Totally. So for the viewer vote this week, the votes were looking kind of light for a while there, and then today a whole shitload of people voted. So this week for the viewer vote, everybody gets an XP. Because, a whole bunch of votes come in.
Thank
last
you,
minute.
everyone.
Yes, thank you.
And I know last
Thank
week
you.
we didn't start at our usual time. We do thank everybody who came out to watch it an hour later than usual. We couldn't help that we had no net for a while there. We're just glad it came back in time for us to stream it. Please, right now, pop over to our Discord so you can vote on who gets the viewer vote. Because as you can tell by the players' reaction, they love the viewer vote. They love to get feedback that way. And you can, of course, just talk about the episode if you want in Chi-Town chat, because that's what it's for.
That's what it's for.
That's what it's for. Right over here. Check it out. You want to catch our back content? Go to YouTube. Right over here, we got a whole bunch of YouTubes. Catch all our back content. Even, the one that just finished streaming, which is Achtung Cthulhu, where they were punching Nazi cultists. So, you want to check out other great content creators? Right over here. Check out these other great content creators. They're right there. There's one right here. She's got her name in there. You should go follow her and watch her play games and Cat Cam and all that good stuff. And even, I'm sure when you're over there on hers, because I don't have her in the friends list, her and her fiance have another channel they stream on. And you can go check them out playing role-playing games and stuff over there too. So you should go check it out. Seriously. Merch, get your merch. Season 5 merch with all these cool people on it. I mean, look, yeah, right there. It's cutting out, but there's the Windy City After Dark merch. Look at that. Got this current coterie. Until Nero eats one of them. I'm just saying it's a possibility. If you want to support the players and show appreciation in other ways, of course, bits and donations, they go to the players. If you want to support the studio, you can give us a subscribe here on Twitch. But if you don't like the fact Twitch is a pimp and takes half that money, we got a KoFi right over here you can go over to, and you can send us money through KoFi because they don't take half. I mean, that's a big deal. I'm going to turn it over to my wife for the schedule. I think we're between some games right now, but we got others starting up again. So.
Yep. So actually, we have over the next week and for the rest of this month, only streams on Saturdays and Sundays. Coming up this Saturday is the return of Call of Cthulhu 7E London Esoteric Society with some new cast members. Oh my gosh, y'all. You want to tune in 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday to see who's joining that crew of occult-obsessed investigators.
I think they're doing a time skip, like a couple, like years worth of time skip. So
they're skipping some time, and basically they're adding some new players in because some of the players had to exit due to work schedules conflicting. So basically they're bringing in some new players, and there's going to be more cult stuff. So join us Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern for that on the 15th.
And we'll see if Mama Distracted is going completely insane during the time skip, because she was pushing it.
Yeah, she was. And then, of course, on the 16th, we have Windy City After Dark, 5 p.m. Eastern, Season 5, Episode 6.
Yep.
So join us then.
We're past the halfway point. We almost had a club episode this time, but I guess the Shanky twist made people go, ooh, we need to talk about some other stuff, because that's what happens. So get ready next time for a Succubus Club. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah. I don't think the players like that one. I mean, of course Annabelle's going to invite her there.
And of course, that's her that's where she's shacking up with Portia.
Mm-hmm. And as always, everybody, mental health, it's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please take mental health seriously. Check in on those around you. Try to be, just listen. Hell, that's all you have to do is listen. Because a lot of times, all people need to know is somebody's willing to at least listen. And it's okay to not be okay, everybody. And mental health is health. So if you do suffer from mental health issues, like many of us do, don't be afraid to reach out to those around you, to talk with them. And if you don't have anyone you can talk to, because a lot of people don't feel they do, right now in chat, there's a list of names and numbers you can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can text them, and they will listen to you without judgment and try to help you through it. And for our non-US viewers, because we have a number of those, there's also a link in chat that goes to a website that you can put in your country and find out what the support numbers are there, because, everyone needs to take their health seriously, and self-care is important. And sometimes that self-care means you need help. We all do it sometimes. Nobody makes it by themselves. And now I can turn it over to my lovely wife as she berates you about COVID.
I really did do some berating last time, telling folks that, you just need to do what you're supposed to and go get your fucking shots. But really, seriously, I know there's shortages of tests because so many people need to be tested, and there's issues with not enough beds available in hospitals for folks that need to be made inpatient. ERs are overrun. Please, please, please. My job, we do field visits for people. We're not doing field visits now because of the surge in cases. We're going completely 100% telephonic and remote. Please, please, please. Get your shots, distance, wear your masks, do hand hygiene, do what you need to do. Because it's important that we get this under control. Because
take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Take care of each other.
Seriously, because healthcare staff, they're exhausted, y'all. For real. They are so burnt out, so exhausted. Please. This is breaking our system even worse than it already was. So, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, get your vaccines, please.
And
said with love.
From the cast of this amazing show, halfway point of season 5, everybody. Shit's going down. So I thank you all for coming, and I thank the players for being here, and we will see you next week, and hopefully we'll see you on the Discord, because, that's where we hang out. So good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.